In the jump from 2D to 3D, two icons on two different platforms emerged. Sony had the svelte Lara Croft in Tomb Raider, a new franchise by an upstart developer and publisher. Nintendo gave world-famous spokesplumber Mario a third dimension in Super Mario 64 as a means to launch its new Nintendo 64 console with a must-have title. Which was the better game? Which was a better representation of what 3D could do? I'll look at and compare both games and come up with Justin's judgment. A young, attractive treasure hunter with polygonal proportions and a British accent, Lara Croft went to the Indiana Jones School of Adventuring. Her game, however, was much less derivative. Sure, we'd seen the motif before, all the way back to Pitfall on the Atari 2600, but this was the first time we could really immerse ourselves in caves and tombs to get the sheer scope and danger. Mario was the undisputed king of 2D platforming. However, 3D is literally a whole new game. Luckily, Nintendo gave him a powerful and fast system, along with a revolutionary controller. But could they recreate the same precision and personality of games like Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World? The N64 controller was an odd device. Most people initially held it on the edges, which made reaching the center mini joystick impossible. But grip it properly and take control of Mario, and it's a fun and fluid experience. Mario glides along with slick moves and can stop on a dime. He sprints or crawls depending on how far you push the analog stick. The worlds were usually designed wide and open to facilitate the control, which is good, because in the more narrow areas you'll be smacking into walls. Still, especially for a first effort, the friction and fun factor are admirable. Tricks like the backflip, triple jump, and butt slam are still staples of the franchise. What has fortunately departed the franchise and 3D gaming in general is a cranky and uncooperative camera system. It's futile to try to adjust the view while playing. You need to stop and hope it can be shoved into a decent spot. Hint, it usually can't. While the DualShock eventually came along with not one but two analog sticks, Tomb Raider predates it and is thus not compatible with it, or the DualShock 3 on PS3, which I'm using to play for this game capture. The stock PlayStation 1 controller, the one some genius decided to pack in with the PlayStation Mini, only has a D-pad. Lara moves with a similar control style to the 32-bit Resident Evil games, known as tank controls. Up moves you forward, and you turn by pressing left or right on the D-pad. This means slaloms are essentially out of the question. Quick turn and strafe moves try to compensate, but it's just not easy to look sober as you move around. To execute Lara's leaps, Tomb Raider is actually very deliberate in its control. Saunter up to a ledge, line up, take a hop back, then run forward and jump. If it's really far, grab the ledge and pull yourself up. Lara can do slick side jumps and backflips, but they take quite a bit of timing to pull off. It's a learning curve steeper than Mario's, but that's part of what makes Tomb Raider a more cerebral game. Still, analog control is sorely missed, especially in the more tense gameplay sections. Mario wins the control category by virtue of the N64's analog stick and the designer's focus on fluidity. Running around is a joy rather than a chore. The camera almost costs as many points as those elements earned, however. Mario 64, out of necessity, trades in a lot of the Goomba stomping and platform leaping of its predecessors for climbing sprawling mountains and navigating obstacles. Variety is definitely the spice of life in Mario 64. Earning the stars in each level require mastering some new minigame or gameplay element. However, none of them reach the level of platforming bliss achieved in the 2D games. It just doesn't feel like a Mario game. Power-ups are rare and temporary, so you're just kind of this dude in a 3D world. Still, the sheer amount of content and real estate you'll cover is impressive to this day, as is your ability to hop from stage to stage easily or just mess around in the hub world. Surprises lie around many corners, but it could be said that Super Mario 64, like Banjo and DK64 after it, gives you too much open world to deal with. Unless you're a fan of running around empty parking lots, the lull between action is more annoying than atmospheric. Tomb Raider is as much a puzzle game as it is an action game as it is an adventure game. You're given mysterious levels to explore and must find keys or pull box-shaped objects to make your way through. It doesn't hold your hand, but solutions will rarely trip you up for long. Combat uses an effective advanced auto-aiming mechanic, reminiscent of Doom, to make it fairly easy to shoot bats, wolves, and dinosaurs. Combat offers a thrilling respite from the quiet, but there's not an overabundance of it. Tomb Raider is very much a game of peaks and valleys. Enter a new area, take out some wildlife with your dual pistols, then spend the next 20 minutes searching for items and avoiding traps. The music facilitates both peace and stress well. Tomb Raider is a tighter, more focused game. That, to me, is more appealing. A handful of tools that are sharp and meaningful are preferred to a chest full of slightly worn toys. Tomb Raider still gives you lots of different things to do, explore, fight, puzzle solve, and of course, jump. I love the game's jumping. To me, Tomb Raider out-platforms the platform king. Mario 64 is bright and colorful. It just looks fun and inviting, no matter which unique and vibrant level you're in. N64 is infamous for cloudy textures, but at least they're consistent, and detail is everywhere, like a digitized Disney World. Not everything here is fully 3D, but the sprites at least blend in well enough. The music is, as always, top-notch, and it's finally fun to hear Mario's voice. We don't have much in the way of cutscenes here, but they weren't enough of a staple yet to be missed, especially if you were a Nintendo loyalist. The visuals of early PlayStation 1 games do not hold up well. In fact, they can be downright ugly. Tomb Raider is a good example of that. Wall textures deform as you get closer or farther, 2D sprites stick out awkwardly. How anyone found Laura attractive back then is a mystery. Tomb Raider makes up for this with some great atmosphere. Each stage has a definite and well-utilized motif, be it cave or jungle or ancient cultures. The amount of textures and some of the details are quite appealing. The music is minimalist but welcome. Cutscenes are fun, even if, again, they look shabby compared to PS2 gameplay. Mario 64 achieved the visual vision of its designers, to be sure. Perhaps it's unfair that I'm playing on this slightly rezzed up Switch version, but this category was never much of a contest. Later PS1 games like Spyro showed the system could make beautiful 3D games, But for core with Tomb Raider 1, they just weren't there yet. Both of these games are revolutionary and deserving of a spot of reverence in gaming history. Tomb Raider was a more mature and hardcore experience, with a sultry lead and taxing puzzles. Mario 64 opened a flat door to a deep and vast playground. At the same time, both titles do show their age. Tomb Raider's tank controls fall apart anytime you need to make twitch decisions, which kind of kills the tension. Mario 64's camera is maddening today, where we are all so used to manually adjusting things for the best view. However, I need to pick a winner. Truth told, I began this competition planning for Tomb Raider to pull off the upset. But playing them both over the past couple of weeks, my impression of it has taken a hit, while Mario 64 remains about the same level it always was with me. That is to say, I put almost every 2D Mario game ahead of it, but it's still a great title that is even more amazing for its time and what it started. As such, Judge Justin declares Super Mario 64 to be the winner of this showdown. Wahoo! Woohoo!
Here we go! Thanks for watching, and please like this video and please subscribe and have a lovely day.